up in the house. What up, y'all? Waiting for y'all to get on up in here. On this Wednesday morning. Is it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday morning. West Coast time, maybe a little bit later if you're East Coast. Waiting for y'all to pile on in. I know YouTube be tripping with the notifications. What's going on? Scotty Saturn, what's up, boy? Yo, what up? Is that Trucker? What up, buddy? What up, y'all? What's poppin'? Know it's been a minute. It's hot in here. Shit. Know it's been a minute. Hold on a second. All right. Man, so got a few things to talk about. First thing I want to talk about is the Melanin Books. Anybody who's ordered the Melanin book, and there's been a delay. You guys ordered literally the week that they re-shut LA down or California down. So the businesses were open for like a week and a half, and then they issued the order and shut the businesses down. So the copy business had to shut down, and we still have to kind of maneuver behind the scenes as well. Because he was doing so many books, he ran out of coil on the books. So this is why you guys' books are delayed, but everything is fixed. So today, after we do this, mailing out your books today. So you guys should get your books no later than next week. So thank you for your patience. But man, a lot of stuff is going on with this Rona. So man, it changes up things quite a bit. So appreciate y'all patience on the Melanin book wait. Yo, what up? Saline. Harry Kane, what's up, girl? All right, so really quick as well, I wanted to talk about, before we get into the topic that you guys see, I want to talk about the Susu. A lot of you guys are hitting me up on the Susu and still trying to get in. So the Naga community is still going. But I just wanted to get a couple of things straight for people who are coming in. I want you to make sure that when you come in, make sure that you have your two, because this is how this thing works. You have to have your two people to come in so that this thing flows. So, you know, when you guys hit me up, make sure that you have that in line, because that's the work that you have to put out in order for this thing to work. It's the constant flow of the cycle flow, the cyclic flow. The new replenishes the old. So make sure you guys have your two. And as well, we wanted to try to, as this is a community, and if you didn't have people, we wanted to try to work and get and link people up with each other. But that's not a solidified thing right now. So we were trying to work that system out. So just so you guys know, if you guys are coming to me looking for me to give you people, that's not going to happen right off the bat, because there are people who are coming in with people, so they get first priority. But as well, I want you guys to also understand that this is not an investment. This is gifting. This is a gifting cycle or a gifting community. So, you know, with an investment, you invest and you looking for a certain return. And, you know, with that return comes risk. Well, with this, there's not really risk. There's just time that's weighted, because everyone may not, when you're doing these Susu things, most people don't read the information correctly. Some people don't understand the information correctly. So this thing doesn't move at the same speed all the time. So I just want you guys to understand that, and that this is not an investment. You are getting into a gifting community. This is much bigger than that. You're becoming a part of a community. All right. So make sure you guys, when you join this thing, you understand this is a bigger thing than an investment. And you know, the community part that comes with it, the information, the linking up with people of your own like minds, all of that comes with this. Okay, so just make sure you understand that before you get into it. But this is a real thing. It's going, and man, I'm loving it. I'm loving the people who's getting into it. They're seeing the community. I just want to make sure that everybody understands when you get into this, what's needed. You make sure that you when you're expressing this to people, you don't want to be telling, you don't want to tell people or trying to pitch this to people. This is not a pitch. Right now, in this day and time, you need to be telling, this is, what else are you going to do? This is how the universe balances things out, because the elite, or so-called motherfuckers who run anything, the elite, they have shut the world down. Shut that shit down. Okay? This is all engineered because they're trying to engineer this one world government. And so they have to bring us into this. How do they do that? They have to wreck the economies. I'm sorry if you guys are thinking America's going to be the same after this. America's gone. America you guys knew is gone. That shit is a wrap, baby. So this new world order that they got coming in, they have to wreck the economy of America to help to make America come into this one world government. America has the biggest economy. What's the biggest economy in America? California, because California is the 5th largest economy in the world. So that's why you see California is the main one shut down constantly, more than anybody else. And they're trying to say that California has all these damn deaths and this and that, which is bullshit. The numbers are getting spiked up. Like this one dude, he was saying that his neighbor died in a car accident, and they said it was death from COVID-19. Dude, his neighbor died in a car accident, and they said death from COVID-19. So that lets you know that this is on some bullshit. And right off the bat, y'all already know that this is on some bullshit. So when they're engineering something like this massive fuckery to take down the world or to change the world, to steer it and engineer it in the way that they want to go, the universe will never let that happen one way. It'll always balance it out. And how did it do it? It gave you this thing, this called the susu. All right, we've already had it, but it brought it back around to your attention. So this is how you subvert, or this is how you get over things like this. When they do shit like this to you, then you have to rely on each other to get out of it. And so we don't have that skill. So a lot of us don't really understand how to work with each other and this and that. But I'm gonna tell you right now who's doing this. Caucasians, Koreans, Mexican people are doing, man, everybody's doing this but us. Because they understand community. They have to work with each other all the time. They don't, working with each other is not foreign to them. So when you say, yo, you got to get each other, you got to rely on this person to do this, but, oh, all right, whatever, man. We know, we understand. It takes a village. So that's the same way that's the mentality that we have to get right now. So just so you understand, that's what this susu thing is. You have to, this is mandatory right now. You have no other, what you going to do? They're locking down the world. There's no jobs. They're shutting down the economies. When they do this, they shut down. When they shut down a film industry, they shut down the film, the makeup, the hair, the concessions, the food. All of that shit shuts down. Nobody makes money, y'all. So this is truly the only way that you guys have to get out of this shit. Yo, what up, baby? This is truly the only way that you guys have to get out of it, is to trust each other. You have to rely on each other. And it has to be that trust. Like, yo, okay, I understand. And then it also has to be some tolerance, because all of us are not in the same mind state with this at the back. We don't know, we don't have experience with this stuff. So a lot of you guys, when you get into this stuff, you got to have some patience and understand that everybody's not on the same mental plane when you're doing these type of things. And that's what a community is. A community, they have tolerance. They allow for leeway. They allow you to be and allow for mistakes and things to go down. So I just want y'all to understand that when you get into this is a susu, and whatever community you guys are getting into, because there's many of them right now, that this is not an investment group. Investments don't do that, because an investment, if you make an investment of $500, do you know how long it'll take you to see $4,000 back? You ain't gonna get $4,000 back in 3 to 4 weeks, or even if you had to wait 5 months to get your money back. You're not gonna see that. That's not what an investment. You're lucky if you get 14% back on your investment. You've done great. Anybody will tell you who invests, especially in stocks. You get like 14%, 15, 20% back on your money. You're doing great. With this, you're gonna get you're doing 5 for 4. All right, and so that's in 3 weeks. Now, again, if you invested $500 in anything, it's going to take you at least a year, maybe, if you even get that money back, to do $4,000. So I just wanted to make sure you guys understand and have the patience to understand, when you get into this is a gifting community with real people. This is not a business. You're working with actual people whose understanding fluctuates and doesn't, they don't all go at the same time. So that's all I wanted to say with that. And so you ready to get in, you want to get in this this gifting community, please hit me up. And I'll send you the registration form. You go send you to the website for the registration form. But after that, that's all done. All right. Got to talk about this boy, Nick Cannon. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? They done jumped on your boy, Nick Cannon. They done jumped all over that boy. I don't know how many of you guys saw the Professor Griff interview, or, you know, I don't know if it was really an interview. It was more like a discussion, I would say, between Professor Griff and Nick Cannon. And he was getting on the so-called Jews, and he was saying that melanated people are the real Hebrews. There was a whole lot of stuff. Excuse me. There was a whole lot of stuff said in that thing. A whole lot of stuff. We want to try and break down a lot of it if we can. Man, it's hot as hell in here. So I want to break down a lot of it, or go through as much of it, you know, as we can. You know, basically starting with, you know, he said, so let's cover some of the stuff he said. He said that white people were savages. And that's one of the things he said, that melanated people are the real Jews or Hebrews, right? Melanin makes you compassionate. The real Illuminati were blacks, were supposedly melanated people. We're the real Illuminati. Or black is enlightenment, or black means, no, what did he say? Black meant, black means God. He said that. We're going to cover that. So there was a lot of things that Nick was saying. A lot of it was right. Some of it wasn't correct. Okay. So we just need to touch on some of the things. Let's jump on, let's just get in touch with the Hebrews, the anti-Semite title that they placed on Nick, because they basically, he got fired or was it Viacom? They dropped him. they cut him because they said he was anti-Semitic. His remarks were anti-Semitic, right? So they dropped him. And then if you saw the interview, it was real funny, because as they were going through Professor Griff, Professor Griff was saying how Public Enemy had to let him go because of the same thing. When he jumped on saying stuff about the so-called Jews, you know, he was just telling the truth, because he had this book. He got this book right here. Y'all might want to get this. It's called The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews. All right. Y'all want to see this right here? Right. You saying there, he said you can't fire a boss, but he got fired because Viacom owns his channel, or Viacom owns MTV. And so MTV, like, no, buddy, no, we are not about to have that, homie. You are not about to say that shit and think because Jews mostly run them companies. So in the interview, he was saying, because when Professor Griff said that he got kicked out of Public Enemy because of that, and then Nick would say, well, why am I allowed to be? Why am I allowed to do this and say this and move? Because you weren't really hitting hard. He was on the outskirts, just touching on, you know, subjects. You weren't saying nothing really about the Jews. Yeah, you were going back, you were wearing your turban, and you talking about the Moors and this and that, but you ain't touch on them Jews. That's the real shit. In one of my my live streams about a couple of months ago, I was saying that how my ex-girlfriend was Jewish, and I used to go to Passover, about 5 or 6 Passovers, and they talk about how they were slaves in Egypt. That's the whole premise of Passover, is how they were slaves of the Egyptians. Do y'all know that part got cut out of the live stream, and it still may be getting cut out of the live stream today? So make sure y'all, if y'all record these, because two of my videos got taken down this past week. One got taken down maybe a month ago, and the other one got taken down 3 days ago. That was the Row World Agenda, Qualified Immunity, and No Nickel G. So if anybody has that video, please send it back to me, because they took it down and they said that video was going against World Health Organization guidelines than COVID, and that I was talking against COVID-19 because I was telling y'all how to use colloidal silver and to boost your immune system. So they took the video down. That was the second video they took down. One of the, I forgot the other video. It was one of the other ones. It was right after I did the Saturn video. It was another live stream breaking down the Corona. I think, oh, it's Kronos. It was called Kronos. It was called the coronavirus or Kronos virus. So if anybody has that, make sure you send me that too. So they took down both of my videos. So just to let y'all know, when you speak out against some shit, especially the Jews, they will be looking for you. So now apparently I'm on their radar and they're scrubbing my videos to see what I've said and and flagging them. So, but this video, this book is what Professor Griff was talking about, the secret relationship between blacks and Jews and that. And so Nick was saying, why am I allowed to be? He's like, they ain't mess with me. They ain't done, but I'm good. But yeah, you were good until you start talking about them Jews, them so-called Jews. And then he saw what happened. He was allowed to be because Nick is a comedian. That's why. Because anytime you listen to Nick Cannon, you're going to put a comedian umbrella over anything that he says, because he's come to you as, in the buffoonery type of way. Laughing, joking, clowning, doing all this shit, talking about girls' asses, booties, and that type of shit. So that's been his life up until now. So he's allowed to be, because any real important shit that he's gonna say it's gonna be followed up with all the shit all the fuckery he's done before in the past. And you're gonna be like, that nigga Nick Cannon's a dumbass nigga. He don't know what the fuck he talking about. So that's why. And then they'll always let you talk unless you have somebody like Professor Griff who really has the information on your show. And then you saw what happened to Nick Cannon. He was like, fuck this shit, nigga. You cannot say anything anymore. And then you see what happened to him. He put out a statement real quick. Yo, I love everybody. He's like, yo, I love everybody. Y'all, come on now. We all got to get together. We all got to love each other. We all got to do everything. We got to come and hug. Got to hug each other. We got to rub each other. So he was backpedaling like crazy when he made that statement, because he lost Viacom, and in doing so, he can say what he wants. And this is the thing: you can feel like you can say what you want, but you gotta understand, when you're that big, you're tied to everybody else is tied to you. So not only I'm sure he doesn't care that Viacom kicked him off, because he can do, he has enough money, but he just lost all those people on Wild 'N Out jobs. All the cameramen, all the sound people, all the, the casting, the people who are on the cast itself, the wardrobe, everybody who was involved with Wild 'N Out, they just lost the job. That's how they fuck you. Because he has all these other people who are counting on him on the platform that he created to get paid and to eat, and now they know that. So they know that you may not give a shit if they fuck you over, but what about the 1,000 other people that you got bringing with you? And that's what they did. They just cut the lifeline to all them damn people. Excuse me. They cut the lifeline to all them damn people that he had hanging with him. So I'm sure he probably gonna take care of them in some type of way, because when you do stuff like that and you're responsible for that many people, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take responsibility. But that's why he was allowed to be at first. And then as soon as he said something about them Jews, they said, no, nigga, you're not allowed to be. Oh, you think you different? You think you different, nigga? Oh, yeah. Cut this nigga off immediately. So, that's the one thing that Nick was saying, that why he was allowed to be, and he's really not. And so Professor Griff was like, man, you powerful and all this and that. No, you're not powerful. He kept saying that. Everybody kept saying that he's a powerful dude and this and that. You're not powerful because you're not really saying anything against the people who are the elite, who are really running shit, which are the so-called Jews. And he was right. They're not Jews. They're Khazars from Khazaria. This goes back. Anybody can look up this damn history about the Khazars taking up Judaism, because on one side, when they were the Khazars, you had one side Christianity was moving in, and then on the other side you had Islam moving in, and they went to the cognate of the Khazar. That was the lead motherfucker. He's called the cognate, and they said, "Yo, what you gonna do?" He was like, "What you gonna do?" And he was like, "Man, Christianity or Judaism?" And he was like, Christianity or Islam?" And he was like, "I pick Judaism. How about that?" He said, "Y'all niggas, none of y'all niggas, you doing Judaism? You do y'all? Any one of you niggas got a problem with Jews? You got a problem with Jews? No. Well, we choose Judaism then, nigga. How about that? Since y'all got a problem with each other, and neither one of y'all got a problem with the Jews, we just gonna be Jews. How about that?" That's how they became Jews. All right, or so-called Hebrews and all this and that. And they took up your religion. Jews follow Judaism. Hebrew and Jews are not the same. Jews follow Judaism. Hebrews are people from a certain land and region. So just so y'all know, he was correct about that. And so they call him anti-Semite because he wants to say that he wants to talk history. They say he's racist because he's actually spouting history. When anybody can go look this up. Matter of fact, go look up Benjamin Friedman. All right, this is a rich dude from the 60s. This is way back in the 60s. Benjamin Friedman. Go look him up. It's called Benjamin Friedman. I think it's the Benjamin Friedman lecture. He did a few of them, but he was a millionaire businessman, Jewish, so-called Jew, who used to go around telling people, "We ain't Jews." He would say that right out nowhere. Like, "We ain't Jews." He's like, "We Khazars from Khazaria, and this is what happened." So this is one of their own people. Used to go around preaching this stuff. And then he also used to talk about, which is another thing, because they jumped on Nick because he said Hitler, they tried to clip it and say because he said Hitler was, what did he say? He gave Hitler a compliment, but he was like fiendishly devious or something like that. He gave him, but it wasn't a compliment. It was like it was like a backhanded compliment. Like, this nigga was fucked up, but you know, and then they tried to take that clip, but most people don't know this dude. Go look at Benjamin Friedman. He talks about why the Jews and Germany had conflict. And he said it wasn't Germany's fault. It was the Jews' fault because they created or they instituted an economic war against the Germans because they wanted to get back. They wanted a homeland of their own. And so America came. Oh, excuse me. They came to in the First World War, and they said, "Look, if we can get America to jump in this war, y'all give us a homeland." They went to Britain. They said, "Yo, if we can get America to jump in this war with y'all niggas, y'all need to give us a homeland. We want Palestine as our homeland." And so it's called the Balfour Agreement. Go look that up, the Balfour Agreement. So that was basically the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds went over to Britain. They was like, "Look, hey, we know y'all fighting with these German niggas, but and in Germany, the Jews were cool. The Germans didn't have anything against the Jews. They were able to have stores and economy, their own communities, all that. They wasn't fucking with them. But then when the Rothschilds went over to Britain, they said, "Look, we want this is the Zionists, all right? The Rothschilds are the Zionists. Zionism is just another name for Jews who believe they should have a homeland." So the Balfour Agreement, the Rothschilds go over to Britain. They say, "Look, we'll get America in on this war if y'all give us a homeland." And the reason they were able to do that is because they own the Federal Reserve in America. You got to understand, the Federal Reserve is a private bank that all the elite banking families own, which is the Rothschilds are the major ones. So because the Rothschilds had owned, they basically at that time they had implemented the plan and took over the printing of the money of America with the Federal Reserve. They owned America at that time. So they were able to go to Britain and say, "Look, we'll get America in on this war if y'all promise us Palestine." And so Britain was like, "Oh, cool, nigga. That's all y'all want, nigga. Y'all sure you don't want? Yeah, nigga, you want you sure you don't want Syria too?" So that's what happened. And so it's called the Balfour Agreement. Go look that shit up. They promised to give Palestine if they jumped in the war. So Germany came back and they was like, "Hold up, Jew niggas, we treat y'all cool over here, and y'all gonna go and kick it with Britain when we give y'all nothing but love over in Germany? Oh, y'all niggas is fucked up. This is some bullshit." And so that still didn't even start the war. The war started when a Jewish dude walked up into the consulate, the German consulate, and shot the dude, and shot the German ambassador. It was a Jewish cat. He walked into the German consulate office and he shot the German ambassador. So that's when it started. They was like, oh, y'all niggas is on some fuckery. So let y'all know, go look at Benjamin Friedman. He talks about that whole story, that whole history about what really started World War I and got the Jews, excuse me, and what brought or what started the conflict between Germany and the Jews. So with that, because Nick Cannon was saying that he was fiendishly, I think it was it was something like a compliment, like he was fiendishly genius or some shit like that. And please don't misquote me because I don't know the exact quote, but it was something like he gave him a backhanded compliment. So, so then he talks about them as savages. White people are savages, right? And he was breaking down how because in time they had to fight for survival so much. They had to fight for so much of survival that they had to do devious things in order to survive. They had to basically, go about fuckery in order to survive in the world. Now, is that true or not? Okay. The Moors, we ran the world basically pretty much from the beginning of time. Thousands and thousands of years we've run the earth. We've risen, we fall, we've risen, we fall. So throughout those civilizations, yes, we were running shit, and Caucasians were slaves, and they were savages. Let's break down these two words. There's something civil and the opposite of that is savage. What do those two things mean, right? Nothing really, but where you live. Those two things only deal with where you live. Civil means you live in a city with a lot of people. Civil only means city, or surrounding by a group of people where you live in a dense population with with a lot of people. That's all civil means. Savage goes from the word sylvan. It means woods. It means in the woods. So savage is just someone who lives in the woods. So go back to Robin Hood, in the Sherwood Forest and all of that shit. People, they did live in the woods. That was a fact. That's not a slight. That's not racism. Caucasians used to live in the woods because they're not indigenous to anywhere. So they had to live in outskirts and towns and shit like that. So you either live in the main hub, which is the city, which is where you get city person who lives in a city, civil society, which is just the giant city, or you get the savages, the Sylvains, who live on the outskirts in the woods. Because that's where they got wood and shit. You can build your homes and shit in the wood. So that's what that shit means. That's all it means. It doesn't mean somebody who's a beast or an animal or anything like that. So these misconceptions or misconception of these definitions also leads you into some bullshit. So that's the difference between that. Now, was he right? Because there's a picture. If you go and look up a book called it's right over here, Image of the Black in Western Art. There's a depiction of a castle and the woods, right? And in the castle, there are Moors with bow and arrows and swords and on horses getting ready to go out over the moat. Excuse me, they're in the castle. These are all melanated people with the bandanas and everything. Just so y'all know, when y'all wear them headbands, that's from the Moors. That was the Phoenicians used to wear those headbands. That's you. So in that depiction, I forgot it's called something of the Savages or something like that. Please go look up, just pull it up on Google. But it's about all these Moors with bow and arrows going out to fight these Caucasians coming from the woods trying to raid the castle. And they're dressed in leaves. They're savage. They ain't got no clothes on. They got nothing but leaves and branches and shit. And they're big and they all pale with long red beards and shit like that. And these Moors are fighting them off from the castle. So that lets you know who the civilized people were and who the savages were. The savages were the people who lived in the woods, which were the Caucasians. That's who they were. It's not a slight, it's history. And they'll try to make you that, and they'll try to, because they buried history so much, they'll try to make you think like remembering history is racist because of how they were done in time. That's because of who they used to be, because they're embarrassed of who they used to be, because they weren't the leaders and they weren't the gods of the world, which who you are, which is what he also got into, which is about the melanin. So she starts talking about the melanin is what made us on this godly tip. And y'all already know I've been on this. Y'all already know me. I've been on this for years now, selling this. Nick Cannon. If you somehow get this damn clip, hit me up, man. I got the receipts. You were talking about melanin makes you compassionate and all that. It doesn't make you compassionate. It makes you calmer. Melanin makes you calm. It calms you down. Makes you more relaxed. But it doesn't make you compassionate necessarily. That's a personal thing. That's a characteristic. Compassion is a characteristic of a person who's gone through some things, or who's been through life, who's seen some shit. So so compassion and being calm from the melanin, there's two different things. Melanin will make you calm. It does keep you relaxed, which is why we're much more in a relaxed, chill state, which is where that shit came from. Yeah, I'm just chilling. You don't see white people chilling. Them niggas are agitated. Caucasians are agitated a lot, which is why they got to do X Games and all this extreme shit in order to feel alive. We just, nigga, just give me a blunt and, and I'm good. So he was what he was saying, he wasn't saying it right because he doesn't understand the science of melanin truly. He was only hearing certain things. But Nick Cannon, get at me. I'll give you one of these, or I'll send you the digital copy so you can start mailing it and really watching it. But Nick, you need to have receipts when you start talking that shit. So that when they say you're racist, you can pull this shit up, because this is all of the research that they have been doing for the last 114 years on melanin around the world. So now they can't say that you're racist when you come with actual scientific knowledge and facts on what melanin can do, how it's electrical, how it conducts sound into electricity, how it conducts light into electricity, how it conducts everything into electricity. All right? This is what your melanin does, and that's what they were trying to say, but they weren't saying it. They didn't come out with it correctly, where it made it sound like it was racist. Well, black people are superheroes. He's right. When he said black people are superheroes and you're all into Marvel and everybody's on the Marvel shit today, he's absolutely right. They got that from this shit. This right here. There's a video I got called Vibranium Instructions on my channel. Do you know they took that down? I put up Vibranium Instructions, would explain everything that was in this damn book. It's called Vibranium Instructions for Dummies, and they took it down. They took the damn video down, just so y'all know. So what Nick was trying to say, again, the superheroes, what's his name? Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby used to read Robert Bauval books. Go look up Robert Bauval. He's a chematologist. He calls himself Egyptologist, but he's chematologist because it was called Kemet, land of the black, or the dark land. So he's a chematologist, and he used to talk about all the ancient Neteru, the gods of Kemet. And so he put that in his book, and then Jack Kirby, the creator, one of the creators of Marvel with Stan Lee, he read that shit and started creating superheroes from that shit. It's literally all of you. All the superheroes, all that shit. And then they get blatant with the shit when they do Black Panther, or they show you that the black substance makes you stronger, like the black Superman, where they Venom, where it was the symbiote, the melanin symbiote that jumped on Spider-Man and made him more aggressive, but it made him super strong and shit. You see how they try to tell you what your melanin can do? Or Spawn, was where melanin, just his suit, which is black, just thinking on its own, doing whatever the fuck, without him having to do anything. All of that is shit. They have to tell you. They have to tell you this goddamn knowledge, because if they don't, then they're karmically bound. They're karmically fucked if they don't tell you. So they gotta tell you. But then when somebody like Nick Cannon come out and he repeats this shit and try to give you the true knowledge, oh, he racist. But Jack Kirby, all you gotta do is you go look up Jack Kirby, and he says where he got the superheroes from Kemet, from Robert Bauval's books on Egypt or Kemet. So where's the shit there? because they don't want you to know. They have to keep that shit to the back. They cannot let you know who you are. They can tell you on the slide, up and under. You got to read between the lines. But when we blast that shit from a billboard, nah, nigga. Hey, oh, hey, we wasn't trying to speak that loudly, nigga. Hold on. You talking too loud, nigga. Please stop talking so damn loud. So that's what's going on when he was talking about your melanin makes you more compassionate. It doesn't make you more compassionate. It does calm you down. Melanin calms you down among many other things that it does for you. And they know this. And then he broke down the Black Illuminati. All right. He said the truth. He said, first of all, he said black meant God. We already know. They were in that video, they were talking about we need to retire the word nigga and then turn black and make black the word God. Sorry, Nick. You fucked up right there, nigga. No, you fucked up, nigga. Nigga means God. It's a perversion of the word Naga. So let's just say this as well. Everybody is not a Naga. Just like everybody in the world can't be a king. A king has to have subjects. So when we talk about, oh, we're all in the bloodline of kings, all of y'all niggas ain't in no king bloodline. That ain't how that shit go. Y'all thought what? When king fucked he was the daddy of everybody in the goddamn land? No. All you niggas didn't come from kings. All you niggas ain't Nagas. Nagas is a special thing. It's an enlightened person. You have to be enlightened to be a Naga. You can't be around here talking about skirt, yerp, and all this and that, and be a motherfucking Naga. Sorry, that don't work like that. Speaking in half sentences and and not giving a fuck, if you're understood. That doesn't work. You're not a Naga. You are a nigga. Nigga is a perversion of Naga, which is just a lower vibration. But even niggas are still on a god level. Even though they don't know it. That's just, a nigga is just an unrealized God. Whereas Naga is someone who knows that they're God. So Nick Cannon, we ain't retiring the word nigga. Sorry. We will retire the word black because black means slave. And you need to know that. Black means slave, man. Legally, not on some connotation, everyday language shit. Legally, black keeps you in jail. So y'all need to let that shit go. These are the words that need to be let go with the fucked up energy. And shout out to Professor Griff, but you got to realize that one. And Professor Griff on there, if you heard Professor Griff, he said he was black. We say he was a Blackfoot Indian, Native American. So he knows, but he doesn't even know to the extent of what his status will give him in this land. Because they still talk about the diaspora and, and niggas being shipped over here and this and that type of shit. Wasn't that many niggas shipped over here. You was already here. He said that. But as Aboriginal, the Native Americans, who they ascribe to the people today, that was your title. That's the shit they're really stealing from you. Y'all worried about the Jews stealing shit? No, nigga, the Native Americans is the Aboriginal people around the world, who they calling Aboriginal. That's your ass. Especially in America. Most Aboriginal people around the world, they have usurped the land. But that's the real fuckery, especially in America, because they got you thinking that you're not Aboriginal. Most of the other Aboriginals around the world, they know they're Aboriginal. They just getting fucked. They just don't know what to do with their status. You don't even know that you're Aboriginal. Professor Griff knew. Old Dirty Bastard knew. He was Shinnecock. That's Old Dirty ODB. That's ODB, RZA, and Jizza. They're all three of them. They're all cousins. They all Native or Aboriginal American, and they know. But I don't know the extent. I don't know if they know the extent of the power that brings. So Nick Cannon is getting out here being labeled as as racist for speaking the truth, but because he was speaking without having all of the facts, and he also misspoke. So when you do that type of shit, you're going to get the backlash. But I'll say this, for people like there's the musician Zuby or whoever the fuck he was, who came out and said Nick Cannon doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Nigga, Nick Cannon will run your ass around the motherfucking block in knowledge. Please send this goddamn clip to his dumb ass. He's an idiot. You don't know shit. Because niggas are killing each other and you go, well, niggas are killing each other in Brooklyn and Chicago. How could they ain't compassionate? Nigga, that ain't got nothing to do with that. That's the environment. That's the conditioning. That's the training that they've had. That's lack of resources. That's a whole lot of other shit, nigga, than compassion, nigga. What the fuck are you talking about? Get your dumb ass out of here. Don't ever make another video, nigga, until you read a book. Because you're an idiot. Nick Cannon is a motherfucking, he don't know what the hell he's talking about. So, again, you got to shut dumbass niggas like that up. Who don't know, because you scared that you want to come out and I want to be the racial, I want to be the racial advocate. I ain't racist. Nick Cannon is a racist, y'all. Get behind me. Nah, Nick Cannon is not racist. Well, I'll say this. Racist actually means, so when you put an IST at the end of a word, it means something that you adhere to. You know, like, racist or, anything that you can put in IST, I'm a socialist or, anything like that. It just means that you adhere to a certain doctrine. So Nick Cannon, technically, because there is no such thing as race, though, I'll say that. Race only means bloodline. It means your family bloodline. So there are no actual races. But if the term did exist, Nick Cannon technically could be called that because he does adhere to melanated people being powerful, being the gods of the world, being the gods of the earth. However, that's not necessarily racist. It's truth because this is how history has taught. This is what history has taught. This is what we used to teach. This is who we are. Melanin does give you an extra power boost. It's not racist to say that. Just like it ain't racist to say it ain't bad when you walk out on the basketball court with somebody and you can jump higher than them and dunk on them, and then you talk about that. Are you being fucked up? Because when you walk out on the basketball court and you a better basketball player than somebody, are you being fucked up because hey nigga, you can't get with me, nigga. You can't guard me, nigga. That's just how the shit is. And if you can guard him, then guard him. But that's all Nick was talking about. In history, our melanin does do certain things. It does have special properties that allow us to do certain things. He doesn't know fully what he's talking about. He's getting bits and pieces because you will only know what you're talking about if you read the research. This is the only way you're going to find out what your melanin does. I don't give a fuck what else y'all read. This is the only full research that you won't find on this shit. This is all the scientists around the world. You ain't gonna find nothing more comprehensive on your melanin than this shit. Sorry, just not gonna happen. These niggas are studying your ass like a motherfucker right now. And then, not to mention, pretty soon they got the Bohemian Grove. They got the Bohemian Grove thing coming up. If y'all don't know about that, that's the where they do the Moloch Ceremony. That's coming up. That's on the 15th. What's today? Oh, today. Hey, funny I'm doing this shit today. Today is the Moloch goddamn ceremony. And see, that's why they don't really want y'all to dive into the Jewish thing. Because if y'all keep diving into the Jews and the history of the Jews and all that shit, you're going to find out this Saturn shit. You're going to find that shit out. Saturn and Saturnalia and how this whole solar system was different. How Saturn used to be our sun and we used to worship Saturn. Excuse me. And now then when Saturn fell, the Jews started to worship Saturn because they had to do everything in the opposite of us because they were the flip side of us. We're the 9, we're the 9 digit, they're the 6. So that's why everything is 6. Right now, there's only 6 major corporations that run everything in the world. Come on, y'all got to understand this shit. This is real shit they working on y'all, man. In a fucking time where they got y'all locked down in the motherfucking house. Well, y'all don't know what to do, and they got you arguing over some dumb shit. Over Nick Cannon said, white Caucasians were savages. Which you need to understand what he was talking about. He just meant y'all niggas, Caucasians had to struggle and fight because them niggas they didn't have a leg up in the world at that time. And that's what got you what you needed was Barbary, robbing, stealing, jacking, nigga. You had to do that shit. So that's all he meant. And so he gets blazed, or he gets flambazled, excuse me, because he says that shit. But again, it's the information, it's the correct information that will get you by all this. Nick, I love you to death, man, but when you did that, you should have been on point. You should have known you should have been on point and had receipts when you said shit like that. You can't go on the camera and be talking that shit when everything you said, you should have pulled up a reference for it and been like, yo, boot, right here, boot, boot, black people say, but. You should have pulled up a book or a reference for everything that you said. So when they come and try to say that you racist, no, nigga, I got this is all documented. I'm not saying no, this is not my opinion. This is all documented throughout history. So hold on. All right. So last thing I want to talk about. So brother Nick Cannon, please get at me. I will get you this book for free. So you out there running melanin facts without having melanin facts. Melanin does not make you compassionate. It does make you calm. It calms you down, which is why people without melanin sometimes have a hard time sleeping. That melatonin, because they don't produce melatonin. Melatonin is what keeps you relaxed and calm. Melatonin helps you produce melanin. Excuse me. So that all goes together. And so if they don't have melatonin, it does make you a little more antsy. That's why they have to take melatonin supplements to calm them down. Niggas can go to sleep anywhere most of the time. You can talk to a nigga right in his face and he'll pass out. I'm one of them niggas. You can be talking to me right in my face. If I'm sleepy, nigga, I'm gonna pass out right in front of your face while you talking. Sorry. Give you a sorry next time. So just so you know, Nick, appreciate you, but man, get your melanin facts down. Hit me up, or if y'all know Nick and y'all got a way to get him that information, hit me up so we can send it to him. Black Illuminati, really quick. So he said that blacks were the true Illuminati, or the illuminated. Now, Illuminati, let's break that word down. Illuminati does not mean to be enlightened. Remember, anything, the prefix IL means not or bad, just like illegal or illegitimate, or you know what I'm saying, or anything with that in front of it means bad. So there was a word for enlightenment back in the day. It was called illuminated. So if there was already a word for enlightenment, to be enlightened, illuminate, why did they have to add an IL in front of it? That's because it meant to not be enlightened. It meant the dark light, or the dim light. So they got y'all thinking, oh, the Illuminati is out here. No, the Illuminati is some bullshit for y'all. It literally means it's the darkening of knowledge. You niggas, they put that out there for you because y'all jumping on that fuckery. All of that is bullshit. Illuminati, y'all think, oh, Adam Weishaupt, they had these secret societies and they try to take over the one world government and all that. Nigga, the true knowledge is the Saturn shit. Y'all don't know nothing about that. They ain't putting none of that shit out, but you see it every goddamn day. No matter if you know it or not, that Saturn shit is all up in your face. So that's the true knowledge. The illumination was Saturn was the sun, and we worshipped it when it was at its height. They worship it now at its descent, in the death of Saturn, which is why everything is a death culture. Everything is about death. Saturn, the wreath at excuse me, the wreath at Christmas. The wreath represents the circle around Saturn. The halo for angels represent the circle around Saturn. Ooh! Watch that damn that TV show on Netflix called Warrior Nun. Watch that shit. That shit is about Warrior Nun who got a halo in her back and she become like, they give her special powers and some shit. That shit is all about Saturn and the Moors. That shit is all about Saturn and Moorish history. Y'all need to watch that shit. The shit happens, it takes place in Spain. So go watch that shit about they show the Moorish history. And they talk about, and it's a lot of Saturn symbolism in that show. So go watch that shit. That shit is breaking off some shit. It's called Warrior Nun. Actually, the symbol is the halo. is the circle for Saturn. When y'all go look it up, man, they are dropping this shit on y'all all day, every day. Y'all have no idea, but don't get caught up in the bullshit. All right, y'all. And then right now, with this new world order shit, y'all gonna need each other. So please don't let them discourage you from linking up and coming together, because Nick was right. We all need to come together the most right now. That's what he put out in his statement, his apology. He said, "Yeah, we all need to come together." And yes, we do, but especially melanated people, because they the ones. You're the ones that they're trying to destroy, because they know that you can take over this world at any point once you become back enlightened. Oh man, appreciate you. Where's that? Mr. Taylor, appreciate you, brother. So they can come back, and once you become enlightened, they know that you can come back and take place at any time. So the whole purpose is to keep you illuminated. Illuminated. Not enlightened. Not lightened. That is the whole. Do y'all get the fucking picture? We need to keep you illuminated. Not illuminated, illuminated. If you don't know what that means, sorry. I'm not, hey, ain't my fault you don't look up words. Ain't my fault you don't know grammar, nigga. Ain't my fault you're using my language without understanding it. This British, this English, this junk language that I created, this filler language that really has no purpose around anywhere else. Not my fault. You don't do your diligence and look up what the fuck I'm talking about. Sorry. So they're trying to keep you illuminated while they stay illuminated. That is the whole point of all of this shit. And the last thing I want to talk about real quick is because on that video that they cut off was the qualified immunity. So that video that they just took off was the Row World Agenda, qualified immunity, and no nickel G. So the qualified immunity thing, man, I hope y'all understand what qualified immunity is. That's the doctrine that gives police officers the shield or the ability to be able to do anything they want without, excuse me, without repercussion. Basically, it says that a police officer has immunity as long as they perform their duties in good faith, right? So when no matter what they do, usually, if they performed it in good faith, meaning they didn't know that they were doing wrong, then they get immunity from it. So that's out there right now. There are two bills. Oh man, appreciate you, Charles. Excuse me, Shanice. Oh, thank you, girl. Oh, what up, girl? Man. So the qualified immunity is, so they got two bills out right now. One is Ayanna Pressley. The other is some Republican dude that doesn't really tackle the qualified immunity portion. So just so y'all know, the Republicans, they saw that the Democrats put out this qualified immunity bill, and then they got a Republican dude to come in and do the same thing with much less restrictions. So there's two bills out there, y'all need to know about that. The Ayanna Pressley bill, that's what y'all want to be pushing right now. It's the get rid of qualified immunity bill. Y'all need to go look that up and get everybody y'all know behind that. That needs to be the number one thing on y'all shit right now. Because if y'all get rid of qualified immunity, then that's a wrap. And to let you know how ill it is, the Supreme Court was supposed to rule on it, right? And they've been pushing it back. They've been saying, yo, once you check out these cases, people are getting fucked over. Their constitutional rights are getting fucked over. Won't y'all look at these cases? And the Supreme Court is the one who created qualified immunity. So they fucked up when they created it, because it's not legislation. It's not a law that Congress or anybody created. So when they fucked up and they did that, they were like, most of these people are getting railroaded behind it. And so they like, man, so people have been pushing the cases like, yo, y'all need to take a look at this shit and turn it over. They were like, all right, we're going to look at it. Don't worry about it. We're going to look at it. We're going to look at it. I promise you. We're going to look at it. I promise. We're going to look. That's been years, right? So now they were supposed to look at it on May 15th. Then when that happened, the George Floyd thing happened, right? So as soon as they were supposed to look at the qualified immunity and see if they were supposed to change it, George Floyd happened. So that was a gift to them. Not that it was a gift, but it was a gift to them because they said, oh, since there's a spotlight now on qualified immunity and police killing people and all this and that, we don't really have to rule on it. We can pull back and let Congress fuck with it. And the reason they do that is because the reason that they don't rule on qualified immunity, just so y'all know, is that they use police officers, off-duty police officers, as security. These elite people, these politicians, all these people, they use police officers. So if they fuck over the police officers, they're fucking over basically their little ecosystem, their little pool and ecosystem. So no one wants to be the one to touch the qualified immunity. The politicians, they don't want to touch it because they use off-duty police. And then the Supreme Court, they don't want to use it because they don't want to touch it because they use off-duty police. So they're like, nigga, you touch it. No, nigga, you fucking. No, you. And they niggas playing tennis, hitting it back and forth. So then when George Floyd shit happened, the Supreme Court said, boop, nigga, it's back in your court now, nigga. We ain't got to do nothing. They hit it back into the legislators' court, and they said, nigga, y'all deal with it. We don't have to do anything, because then y'all write a law. How about that? So that's what's going on. Excuse me, that's what's going on right now, is that now they got the two bills, and they just trying to now if they don't deal with it, then it will go back to the Supreme Court ultimately, and then they got to deal with it. But they like, nigga, I know this is our fuck up, but if we don't got to deal with it, like, sorry. So that's what's going on right now. Qualified immunity is the most important thing that plagues, or one of the most important things that plagues melanated people when you leave your house, especially with those police officers, because they feel that they have a shield and they have a right to do anything they want to you without anything happening back to them. So that's why, again, I created this qualified immunity notice. You guys can see that. So that you guys can have when you get pulled over, as well as the qualified immunity card. So until they deal with this legislation, until they rule on it, which, you know, if Trump is president, then the bill goes through, and then Trump is the one who gets to rule on it. He's probably going to veto it because he's putting himself out there as the police advocate. I'm for the police. I'm law enforcement president. So it's probably going to get downed when it goes to Trump's desk. So shit like this that explains how police officers don't have qualified immunity if they violate your rights, if they knowingly violate your constitutional rights. So that means if you alert them that they're in danger of violating your rights while on camera, and then they proceed and they continue to do it, then they're in violation. And then you got them after that. You can sue them, you can take their police bond, but they usually get off because no one knows their rights, and you don't know to inform the police officer before he fucks you over that he's about to violate your rights. So he always gets off. Well, I didn't know that was illegal. I didn't know I was fucking him over when I slammed him on his face and broke 8 bones in his face. Sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know. My bad. Next time I won't slam you. So that's why these niggas get off. So with this qualified immunity card, this qualified immunity notice, you keep this in your dashboard, you keep this in your wallet. Has also, this is the back of it, Supreme Court. And it also has the signature where you sign this. This lets them know that they will lose their qualified immunity if they continue to violate if they violate your constitutional rights in any way. Just any type of violation of your constitutional rights leaves them open. They don't get that qualified immunity. So this is the most important thing. This is the video that they took down. I want y'all to spread the word about this. Get that word out about the qualified immunity bill from Ayanna Pressley. That's probably this is the first time this has ever happened. Y'all don't even understand this. They haven't made a qualified immunity bill ever because they were too scared to touch it. But right now they got 2 qualified immunity bills in the Congress right now. So man, this is probably, like I said, the most important time for melanated people with police. We've been talking about police since the beginning. You go back to old rap songs from the 70s and 80s, you hear niggas talk about Popo. So we still ain't done with that shit. So right now we got a chance to do it, get the word out about that bill. But until that happens, y'all need to be armored up. And that's this right here. Qualified immunity notice and card. So y'all need that. We all got to have this. We all got to have the knowledge. Okay. So when you get that, the knowledge is the most important thing. This is just filled with Supreme Court cases on why they don't get qualified immunity. These are just law cases on if they violate, and then what probable cause is, because they try to attack you without having probable cause. So on the back, explain these are Supreme Court cases about probable cause. Okay, if they arrest you, if they place you in handcuffs without probable cause, it's an unlawful arrest. Y'all don't even know that, but y'all get jacked up all the time when they're detaining you. They detain melanated people in handcuffs all the time. Not Caucasians. They just let Caucasians stand off to the side. But melanated people, they place you in handcuffs while they're investigating. But you don't know that the placing you in handcuffs is technically an arrest. And if they don't have probable cause to do that, they violated your constitutional rights. And you can sue them. But you don't know that. You don't know. Especially when they come up to you and they say, I'm going to search you for weapons. I'm going to pat you down for weapons. You don't have to let them do that. That's a statement of authority that they don't have to make. What they're trying to do is make you acquiesce. When they say, I'm going to pat you down for weapons, you don't say anything. That's called tacit consent, acquiescence. When they reach out and they touch you, and you're, I'm about to touch you. I'm about to touch you. Oh, you ain't say nothing? Okay. That's called tacit consent when you do that. When someone says, I'm about to search you for weapons, your response is, why? Do you suspect me of having a weapon? And if you suspect me of having a weapon, you have to articulate why you suspect me of having a weapon. You have to articulate where you think the weapon is, and you can only search that part of my body. Y'all don't know that. They can only fully search you if they're taking you in for an arrest, if they're taking you into custody. That is the only time that they can fully search you. But you be letting them grab all over your body and all that and touch you, feel you up and shit. Y'all got to stop that, man. Stop doing that. One of the last things I want to say, I got a special edition Know Your Rights manuals in. So this brother actually hit me up and he did these. You know, so I actually I got him 25 of these because I just wanted to see how they look, and he sent me these and they look good. This is the actual full booklet. This is the realized actual Know Your Rights book, manual book. So I got 25 of these. For the first 25 people who ordered the Melanin book or research, I'm going to put this special edition Know Your Rights manual in there for free. So the first 25 people who order one of these, you get this one for free. All right. Special edition right here. Boom. Boom. Full booklet. All right. So everybody need this. Y'all need this. So y'all can pass this around to your kids. Everybody sit around the table and read it. Study it, have a study group on this shit, because y'all all need to know what you can and what you can't do at a police stop, or what they can and they can't do. More importantly, what they can and they can't do. That's really what you need to know. Definitely what you can and you can't do, but definitely what they can and they cannot do. And that's in here. Now, for everybody else, you order the Melanin book. If you're not one of the first 25, you get this book. But you'll still get this whole package for free with the Know Your Rights, with the constitutional rights card, the qualified immunity notice, and the qualified immunity card. So, all right. So anybody that's for after the 25. First 25 people, you'll get this book and with all of that too. You'll get all of that with the special edition. All right. So we got to get out there. We got to know what we can and we can't do, what moves we can make in this system. But also, man, we need to rely on each other. This unity, this community, relying on each other to uplift each other at this time is a necessity. It's life and death. So all of you people who thinking about doing the susu and this and that, really, what other choice do you have? It's not a coincidence that the universe gives us this to balance out the fuckery that they've done in the world, where they've literally shut down all the economy and not giving us a way to be able to work. Excuse me, not giving us a way to be able to work. The universe give us a way to rely on ourselves to be able to uplift each other. That's not a coincidence. So, man, let's take advantage of it. Please uplift each other. Get on these books. Get on your knowledge. Bam. Oh, that's not there. There it is. And I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace.